And everybody's trying to find where they have to sit on this seating plan, because we've got 58 students and only 50 computers. So in teams of n students, we can allocate n-1 computers to each team, color-coded. If you lived in old Japan and life was very hard, but then some empire came, maybe Chinese, and they brought many good things, education and health and better clothes and fresher water, but you had to learn Chinese and be ruled by Chinese people. What would you choose? Would you want to be part of the new empire, or would you want to make them leave Japan? What would you choose? So, I don't know. A little bit like the Danish cartoons that made Islamic people very angry. This film made Christian people very angry. Okay? And it's called The Life of Brian, and it's about a poor Palestinian called, well, actually Jewish, he's Jewish, called Brian, and his fight against the Romans. And this is when he joins the dangerous revolutionary group, the People's Front of Judea.
Get into the underground heating system here. Up through in the main audience chamber here. And pilot's wife's bedroom is here. And in practice-wise, we have 4 pilots in our custody and 4 questions. Issue on him, Mark. Any questions? What exactly are the demands? We're giving the pilot 2 days to dismantle the entire apparatus for the Roman imperialist fleet, and if he doesn't agree immediately, we execute. Cut a head off, cut all of it. Bring them back on the hour, every hour. Tell them why not to reply. And of course, we point out that they bear all responsibility when we top her up, and that we shall not submit to blackmail. No blackmail!
せっかくだからみんなね、なんか面白かったんじゃん。パーラルスポーツ。コメディアン。
And maybe favourite jokes from those comedians. Yeah? The scene that you have just watched is really famous with British people. It means that very often when British people... Okay. Very often when British people get together and tell stories and jokes, this one gets told very often. And lots of people kind of remember the words. What have the Romans ever done for us? Well, apart from sanitation, health, medicine, housing, safety, the wine. What have the Romans ever done for us? It's a very famous sort of joke. And comedy can show you a lot about a culture, in a way. The things that we remember, the things that we laugh about. So the first Roman to try to conquer Britain was very famous, Julius Caesar. Yeah? And most English school children learn the date, 55 BC. Julius Caesar tried to conquer Britain. Okay? He didn't succeed because the weather was so bad that his ships couldn't cross the English Channel. Maybe that reminds you of a Japanese story. Yeah? Isn't it true that the Mongol people, that China built its wall to keep out, tried to conquer Japan by sailing across the sea? But the great wind came and sank their ships. What year was that? Anybody know?
和光。 和光和光違うよねなんだっけあれあ原稿それだ石垣みたいなの作ったやつだよね
ああそうそうそうそう
なんだっけ
Anybody knows? I don't know.
え
Well, we can find out.
那須の余市が出てくるや
Find out on the internet at another moment. But anyway,
つ
there are some
弓で
similar stories. This is a famous television series in Britain about a man called Blackadder and his servant called Baldric. And they made many adventures throughout English history. So as we follow this course, I'll try to match some of their adventures to what we are looking at, okay? So what we'll do is we're going to go back in time with these two TV characters, and we're going to go back in time to the time of the Roman Empire in Britain, Hadrian's Wall, this great idea by Emperor Hadrian to build a wall to keep out the Scottish invaders. Okay, but we might have a problem actually, because if YouTube doesn't work...
Romans? We're still centuries out. Come on, let's go. Although, I might just steal myself a Roman helmet while we're here. That's interesting. The machine seems to be seeking out our DNA across time.
Just what, O Centurion?
We're facing a horde of ginger maniacs with wild goats nesting in their huge orange beards. Or to put it another way, the Scots. And how does our inspired leader Hadrian intend to keep out this vast army of lunatics? By building a 3-foot-high wall. A terrifying obstacle. About as frightening as a little rabbit with the word boo painted on its nose.
Ooh.
Oh, come now, Centurion, I won't have that. This wall is a terrific defense mechanism. Why, you're surely not suggesting that a rabble of Scots could get the better of Roman soldiers.
Let's get home, Warren.
We don't know where home is. We're doomed to lonely time for all time. Oh, woe is me.
Shut up, Warren, shut up. There is one final thing to push which may be our salvation.
これ YouTube
What will happen? Okay.
なんかおかしかったよね一人格好
This is
が
this is a very strange way of showing you some history about Rome and Britain. The idea is old history is still living today. You saw those Scottish people charging up the hill like this with their fierce faces on to get the bloody Romans. You saw them? Well, those people are actually they're battle reenactors. And it's actually quite a popular thing in Britain. There are people who dress up and pretend to fight old historical battles. Scottish people fighting for their freedom, not against the Romans, but against the British. The English, I should say.
あこれ大好きなんだって俺
え知ってる
うん
Sons of Scotland. I am William Wallace.
ブレイブハート
William Wallace is 7 feet tall. Yes, and I've killed men by the hundreds. And if he were here, he'd consume the English with fireballs from his eyes and bolts of lightning from his arse.
All of the serious history I've put in the online group. So these tasks that I've given you here,
Alright.
you can find the television files in the online group, and you can take your time, look at the task, watch the television, try to answer the questions.